Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, there was a pretty huge thing that happened over the weekend. Claressa Shields became the
Made history.
She made history, become the first undisputed middleweight champion in a female boxing division. I don't know how to say it. Also, the second undisputed champion of any weight class in women's boxing history. The first Ring Magazine champion of any weight class. And, you know, the main event of a Showtime big card, and not only that, but she fought the toughest fight of her career on paper, and really the girl in front of her, Christina Hammer, clearly was the best fighter that Claressa has ever faced as a professional, and then Claressa dominated the fight after round one, and she just took over. I was really impressed with that. I want to know, Rachel, what did you think about Claressa Shields?
I was really impressed. So, when this fight was first talked about, I kind of thought Claressa would run through Christina Hammer.
Yeah.
In the preceding weeks to the fight, Christina Hammer looked different to me, thicker, and I guess I didn't realize until they stood next to each other how big Christina Hammer was.
Also slowly wore you down.
Maybe that. And so then it was like a pick-em fight for me. I was like, I don't know. They're both really different fighters, and I don't know what's going to take the day. But Claressa improved so much between her last fight and this fight. I mean, she just improved like just strides. And we had talked about Shields in her previous fights and how she had room for growth. It seemed like she was looking for punches instead of just going with the flow and just being herself. She was open to be hit. She was missing some head movement. There were just like things that she needed to work on, and she really seemed to have like brought it all together in this fight, taking what was the best of her, which is kind of being like a force of nature in the ring to overwhelm her opponent, taking that but matching it with like a whole bunch of skill. It was really really amazing to see that.
Yeah, you really like to see this from Claressa because this was the biggest fight of her professional career. And she had looked in other fights like she was improving and had room to grow. But you never know if somebody's actually going to grow or if it just looks like they have that potential. In this fight, she showed that she has constantly been improving. But not only that, that when the chips were down and when the stakes were the highest,
she performed.
Which is what we probably should have thought since she already has won 2 gold medals. But still, you don't know how it's going to translate professional. She reminded me of an early or young Floyd Mayweather Jr., in fact. The way that she fought, she was so quick. She had such good defense, and yet she was landing really significant punches on somebody with longer arms.
Yeah.
And just completely dismantled Hammer. I was just so impressed with her defense and her ring generalship, and it reminds me, again, of Floyd Mayweather when he was coming up, before he took on, like, the money persona, but when he was really at his peak, and that's before he got to welterweight, just completely dominating and outclassing a really, really good fighter in Christina Hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer was, you know, I think that Claressa just kept her off her game with her head movement, and there were combinations that Hammer threw that even when I see him again on replay, I'm like, I don't know how she didn't land anything. She's doing all the right things, and Claressa's still making her miss. And that's an amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
I wish that Showtime had worked with the promoter that put on the fight to put on a better undercard. The undercard was trash.
It was horrible.
At first, I was excited about it because it was heavyweights, but then as it became clear that these were just heavyweights that you shouldn't know who they are and should never probably see them on television.
Yeah, it was too bad. Considering everything that this fight was going to do, the history that it was making in women's boxing, I really felt like the entire promotion deserved better than what it got. And I even like the Showtime B team. But it was the B team, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't Al, and I was like, I don't understand, really. This was a really big deal, and I don't understand why it got, like, I guess I don't understand.
I don't know how long Claressa's contract is with her current promoter, but if I could have Claressa do anything, it would be to get a better promoter.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the Saltita So whoever you are, I know who you are. You're a borderline regional level promoter that sometimes does larger fights. I would much rather see Claressa Shields um, managed by Al Heyman and promoted through one of their promoters, or promoted by Bob Arum in Top Rank, the way that some other fighters like Michaela Mayer are promoted by Top Rank. Even like if you're going to go localish, regionalish, up to national level promoter, then it's not with main events. Like they're better. I think that they do a better job of promoting. And I didn't like what I saw from what should have been a hallmark event in women's boxing history, and it was just soured by trash undercard. Yeah. I don't mind I like the team for her.
Yeah, I like the team too. I just mean all together, like, you know.
Yeah, all together added up to like, this isn't that big a deal. We told you it was a big deal. And honestly, it was the best fight, the most important fight, both.
And can we just say, like, it was a flat out good fight?
It was a good, fun fight to watch.
Like, male or female, like, this was a good, fun fight to watch.
This was high class stuff. Both of them were really good. And
I want to also point out, I didn't even notice that it was 2-minute rounds because I was so involved and intrigued and brought into the fight. Sometimes, like, it's really noticeable in a woman's fight that it's 2 minutes because maybe I'm kind of bored, maybe there's not a lot going on. I don't know what it is. There's a huge mismatch. But in this fight, like, I was just all in on it. Like, that was just like a side thing going on, you know?
I'm excited. What do you want next to see, Claressa? Who do you want to see in the ring with next? Or what do you want to see from her next if you can't think of it?
I just want to see, like, her continue to grow. I think thus far, what they have done well for her is getting her fights with increased level of opponents. So I want to see more of that because although Claressa calls herself the greatest woman of all time,
GWOAT!
I don't think she's earned that yet. I think there's a lot more work to be done before you can claim that moniker.
Well, to be fair to Claressa, I think what she's doing what Muhammad Ali did.
Which is
Muhammad Ali, whereas I'm the greatest of all time, and he did it.
Future.
And that's what she's doing. I don't think she intends it to be like that. She's already like accomplished more than any other female fighter.
So what I want to see is the continued growth, and I know it's hard in women's boxing to find opponents. You know, like, I mean, you fought, like, Hammer was your, like, opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, like, we're already talking about, like, catch weights and stuff like that.
Yeah, they mentioned, she called out after the fight Cecilia Brækhus, who is the first undisputed champion in a women's history.
Yeah. She called her out at 154.
Yeah, because Brækhus is at 147.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about Cecilia Brækhus. I feel like she has not gotten the same kind of backing from television networks as Claressa Shields, and that's because Claressa Shields was a 2-time gold medalist and all that good stuff, came in one at the right time. But so for Cecilia Brækhus, I'm not sure that I want to see her in that fight with Claressa Shields because she would be moving up in weight to fight someone who's a lot bigger than her and younger than her, and she's been the top women's boxer in the world since probably Holly Holm left boxing, and that's something that I think. There's 2 fights for her. What I'm getting at is that there's that potential of her moving up to fight Claressa Shields or of somebody else, Katie Taylor, moving up to fight Cecilia Brækhus eventually. I think I'd rather eventually see Katie Taylor and Cecilia Brækhus because I think that is a more interesting fight because Katie Taylor is so awesome and so is Cecilia Brækhus, and Brækhus is bigger than her, and I think that makes it more of a competitive fight.
Yeah. That
being said, Brækhus is a great boxer. 2-minute rounds, you never know what can happen. But from what I saw from Claressa, she's going to continue to get better. And I don't know. She does look like she's on her way to quite possibly being the GWOAT. GWOAT? GWOAT? How do you say it? I don't know. GOAT's easy because it's like a goat. But GWOAT, you can't it's like
GWOAT.
GWOAT. GWOAT.
Not GWOAT, just GWOAT.
You know, Rachel.
You know how you can be the greatest of all time is by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel to help it grow.